Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Nurihan binti Abdullah, final year student of civil engineering. Today I will be presenting my poster for the final year project. My title for this project is Eco-Friendly Integrated Storage for Urban Drainage System. Nowadays, urban area with the economic growth cause higher amount of pollutants and impervious surface. And one of the source of the pollution is the water coming from the roadway which has run off. Besides, the urban area are also prone to flash flood because of the water can infiltrate into the ground due to impervious surface. Thus, the drainage system can contribute to sustainable development to manage the water quality and quantity in urban areas. The study is to suggest the eco-friendly system by implementing the sustainable materials such as waste material to improve the quality of the runoff. So the objective of the study is to determine the system performance eco-friendly of integrated storage for urban drainage system in improving runoff quantity. And next, to determine the system performance in improving runoff quality using waste materials such as oil palm fiber, sawdust, and rice as the filter media to evaluate and suggest the suitable filter media and the arrangement of the storage block for the system. And next is the methodology. First of all, the preparation in terms of the biocomposite materials and the integrated blocks needs to be done. The biocomposite materials proposed for this project are rice husk, oil palm fiber, and sawdust. And for the blocks, I used the same blocks from the previous study, which hollow at the center and interlocking with each other. This is purposely to increase the area of the water to filtrate through the filter media. The blocks arrangement is staggered arrangement. As from the previous study proposed the straight blocks, so my study is actually focusing on the comparison between those two arrangements that will give a better performance on the quality and quantity of the runoff water. And lastly, there will be a quality testing on the water sample in terms of the pH, turbidity, BOD, COD, TSS, TDS, zinc, and copper. So next is for the result and discussion. First is to determination of the peak discharge. So for this test, there are three different initial discharge, which is 0.00062 meter cubic per second, and the second test is 0.0000685 meter cubic per second, and the last test is 0.0008149 meter cubic per second as the initial discharge. And as you can see from this all three graph, the volume is increases with time, and you can see that from each test, the highest the peak discharge is at 120 second. And you can see that the green line is for the control system give the highest discharge. This is because the control system did not have any filtration materials to retain the water before being discharged from the system. The conclusion that we can conclude the sawdust give the lowest peak discharge compared to the oil palm fiber because of the high absorptive capacity to retain the water from being discharged over a certain time. Okay, next is comparison of the peak discharge from the previous study to the current study. And as you know that previous study proposed the straight arrangement, but for my study I proposed the staggered arrangement, and the red line is for the straight arrangement, and the white line is for the staggered arrangement. Okay, as you can see that the red line much higher compared to the white line, and we can say that the graph show that the volume of the water increases over the time, and the peak discharge for the current study occur at 240 seconds, but for the previous study occur at 300 seconds. And the current study is expected to have the peak discharge slower than the previous study due to the lower rate of water dissipation to the system. The results show that the water discharge for the staggered block arrangement is much lower compared to the previous study. This is because the staggered block arrangement will lower the discharge of the water by reducing the time for the water to passing through the block. It is also help to reducing the rate of runoff water to be discharged by allowing the water dissipate through the filter media. Okay, next is the water quality result using different eco-friendly material. All the tests show that the eco-friendly material can effectively improve the water quality. The alpine fiber has the highest removal in terms of the turbidity, TSS, TDS, copper. This is because the oil palm fiber has the highest absorption compared to the rice husk and sawdust to remove particles and contaminants from the water. Rice husk has the filter media, and the rice husk has the filter media give a higher percentage of zinc removal. This is because rice husk has a strong chemical resilience and has a granular composition that gives it a good absorbent material for heavy metal disposal from runoff water. And sawdust give a higher percentage of COD removal. COD removal. This is because the effect of the particle size give an important role in reducing COD concentration. Sawdust absorption having a very wide surface so that the particle of liquid waste attach to the surface. And next is the comparison between the water quality from the previous study with the current study. Okay, from the result, some of the tests show that the previous study gave a better percentage of removal compared to the current study. The percentage of the BOD, COD, and TSS from the previous study is higher compared to the current study, while the percentage of the removal turbidity and TSS from the current study is higher compared to the previous study. The case study, this is because the water sample used during the previous and current study is not same characteristic and parameters. And this is might be the case study area used for the current study might be more polluted compared to the previous study, which will give much lower BOD, COD, and TSS concentration in the water sample. Okay, for the conclusion, volume and peak discharge, all the tests show that the discharge volume increases with time, so that's capable in reducing the water discharge from test 1, test 2, and test 3. The staggered block arrangement from the current study improved the rate of the water discharge. And for the water quality testing, the biocomposite material used are capable in reducing the most of the parameter for the quality water. However, the water quality using the rice husk from the current study not fully improved compared to the previous study. And some of the recommendation for this study is for the water quality testing to have a better quality, the material preparation to the eco-friendly materials are needed in order to remove the dirt. And from the study conducted by NGA 2011 state that the treated rice husk using the sodium hydroxide, the absorption capacity is increased for the heavy metal, especially the zinc iron. I think that's all from my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.